Hi YouTube, my name is Sifti Bhatia, and in this video I'm going to acquaint you with the IELTS examination. So we'll look into what is the exam, how it is conducted, and what is the pattern of the examination. So let's begin. IELTS or IELTS stands for International English Language Testing System. So it is a language test at an international level conducted by three organizations, namely Cambridge University, British Council, and IDP. British Council and IDP are the ones who oversee the conduct of the examination at the ground level. So when you go to apply for your exam, you'll be given an option to choose between the two. Another thing you need to know before you apply is the types of IELTS exam. So basically, it has two types, academic and general training. Academic, as the name suggests, is for those students who need to prove their language proficiency for admission into a foreign university. On the other hand, general training is for those who need to prove their proficiency for employment or immigration purposes. So that's the basics of the examination. Now let's dig a little deeper into the pattern or the format of the exam. So the IELTS exam, like any other language test, judges you on the four basic linguistic skills. These are the four modules of the IELTS, namely reading, listening, writing, and speaking. Out of these, reading and listening are the receptive skills, which means that an external input is given to trigger answers from the candidate. The reading is further divided into two, that is separate for academic and general training. The difference between the two lies in the content of the passage given to you. But overall, both of these have 3 passages and 40 questions divided unequally among the passages. You have to answer these 40 questions within 60 minutes. Moving towards listening, a recording is played and you are expected to answer the questions whilst listening to the recording. It includes 4 sections, which means 4 separate recordings, and 40 questions divided equally among the sections. The recording goes on for 30 minutes. Now, one thing you need to know about the reading and the listening module is that a separate QMR sheet is given and you're supposed to transfer your final answers to those QMR sheets. The basic difference between these two is that in reading, no extra time is given to transfer the answers, whereas in listening, 10 extra minutes are given. Hence, a total of 40 minutes are allotted to the listening module. Now, let's move towards the productive skills of the exam, which include writing and speaking. They're productive since you are expected to elicit certain responses or content internally. The writing exam has 2 tasks, task 1 and task 2. Both of them are compulsory. The task 1 is again separate for academic and general training. In academic, you're given a chart and you're supposed to write a report on the chart. The chart can be a bar graph, line graph, process or flow, and others. Whereas in general training, you're supposed to write a letter, so it can be a formal or an informal letter. Both the tasks have the minimum word limit of 150 words, which means that if you have less than 150 words, you will be penalized for it. However, know that there is no upper limit, so you can write as many words as you want. Moving towards task 2, this is the same for both academic and general training. This is basically an essay writing. So a general social topic would be given to you and you would be expected to write a minimum of 250 words on the topic. Again, this is the lower limit, so writing less than 250 would mean a penalty. A total of 60 minutes are given to finish both the tasks. Now, since task 2 has more words and more weightage than task 1, we allocate 40 minutes to this task and only 20 minutes to task 1. The last module of IELTS is speaking. In the speaking test, a personal one-on-one interview is conducted and this interview is divided into 3 separate parts. The first part is basic introduction and general questions. The second part, you will be given a cue card, a topic, and you will be expected to speak on the topic for 2 minutes, hence calling it individual long term. The topics of the cue card are quite simple and general, like your favorite movie or your favorite book. In the third part, the same topic would be continued and you would have a discussion with the examiner in the form of question answers. This whole interview lasts for 11 to 15 minutes. One thing which distinguishes the receptive and the productive skills is that for these two, there's a set answer key. So your answer is either correct or not. However, for writing and speaking, there are no correct or incorrect answers. So they are completely judged on a different scale. These are what we call the parameters or the judgment criteria for writing and speaking. And this is what we will discuss in the upcoming videos. Now, listening, reading and writing, they take place on the same day and the exam goes on for 2 hours and 40 minutes. However, the speaking exam is conducted on a separate day. And 13 days post your main exam, you will receive a notification with your result. And that's all about the IELTS exam. Stay tuned on this channel to get more information and more details about this examination. All the best. Thank you.